All right, let's shift a little bit to the pre-approval process, what that looks like. Is there such thing as too early to go through the process? So like, for example, a personal experience, my fiance and I are planning to buy in 2028. But like, if we wanted to now, could we go to a bank and be like, what could we buy right now? What is our range right now? Is that something that is smart to do, just kind of get a baseline of where you're at as opposed to where you want to be in 2 years, how much work you have to do? Or is that something that's like, oh, I can bang your credit risk, don't do that, it's a waste of time? What do you think?
It's never too early to start. And the reason I say that is because, as I mentioned earlier, you don't know what you don't know, right? And if you tell me that you and your fiance are going to buy a home in 2028, but there's also a possibility that your fiance might start a new business next year.
Which she is.
There you go. That's going to impact the financing. Yeah. So let's put ourselves in a position now so that when the time comes for you to buy a home, you're ready. Instead of January of 2028 happening, you're like, all right, our lease is up in 6 months, let's start looking. And now you're scrambling, oh, I didn't know that if we started a business, we need a 2-year history of it, and now we don't, so now we're kind of stuck here. So it's not too early to start. The way that we do it, we're doing a soft credit check. So we're not doing anything that's gonna ding your credit at all. It's a 10-minute conversation. And let's say that your financials and credit and everything is perfect. That gives you a lot of peace of mind. So hey, just keep doing what you're doing. You have a good sense as far as what you qualify for. Let's talk in 12 months. Let's talk in 24 months. But at least you know, right? Having that checkup, so we do work with clients who we've been in touch with for 5 years. They haven't bought a home. But staying in touch every 6 to 12 months, guidelines change. Yep. Things change in our business. So advice that I had or guidelines that I was following 6 months ago or a year ago may not be available today. So now we need to pivot. But that is why I think starting early is so important. But it's a 10-minute phone call, right? We want to learn, as I was mentioning earlier, your income, your assets, your credit. We want to learn about you and then put a plan in place, because clients are going to fall into one of 3 categories. Either they're fully qualified, right? In 10 minutes, we're like, hey, this person, they're a perfect fit. Their loan works. Number 2, they're 50-50. Right? There's some issues with this file that we're gonna need to work on. We need some, additional heavy lifting here. And number 3, they don't qualify at all, right? And for that last category, for someone who doesn't qualify at all, they're not a lost cause. It's like, why don't you qualify? Yeah, right? So let's put a plan in place. So think about that chair that should have 4 legs. Now it's got 2. So we got to put 2 legs. How do we do that? Where do we get those legs from? And those are the conversations that we have with these clients to put them in a position. So, hey, in a year from now or 2 years from now, whatever the case is, you're ready to buy.
And then Everett, from your side too, as the broker, going through that process, where do you fit in to kind of help them, again, kind of get their budget in order? You don't want to talk about the finances specifically, but kind of, even if it's just like emotional support.
Yeah, so I mean, again, when people are usually reaching out to me or at the point at which I'm communicating with them, I'm gonna say 98% of the time they haven't spoken to someone like Scott yet. Right. They may have looked at their bank to see if they can do some kind of like loan with the bank or something like that, but they usually have no conversation or had nothing like that about the money.
Yeah, so let me kind of rephrase it this way then. Where do most people kind of start in the process? Do they come to you first? Or they go to you first?
They'll go to the listing first, right? And then I have to redirect them.
You had to redirect them. Okay, so they should go to you first.
Why
they go to you
it's so
first.
Important. Yeah, but I really break it down in that first consultation where I'm just sitting down to first understand where their needs are at. But again, I ask the basic question, like, are you financing or are you pay all cash? Because if they're paying all cash, then I don't have to get Scott involved. But when they say they're financing, that's when I'm like, okay, I have, where do you bank with? Give me an idea. I have a couple of people that I know would be great in terms of communication, will stay on top of your deal, make sure that you have everything you need and get all the questions that you have answered. I kind of set them up with the question of like, what documents do I need to get pre-approved? Because I think that's the direct answer that they're usually looking for besides the rate question that just kind of gets them started on the right track fastest.
I would just add that, Everett runs his business the way that he runs it. I run my business the way that I run it. Not every agent's gonna do the same exact thing. The way that you're doing it makes a ton of sense, right? You wanna have, his buyer consultation is gonna be different than someone else's. The pre-approval process, it really depends on the person that is issuing that pre-approval. We just talked about tech. How many platforms today, our company has this, where you can generate your own pre-approval letter? Really doesn't mean anything, right? Because the client can input whatever information they want into that system and it generates a pre-approval letter, but it wasn't looked at by someone who understands how to navigate the process. So, you know, not all these pre-approvals are created equally.